Oh, look out! Excuse me, sir.
Bernard, do something. He can't hear us.
Big time, big time! Where the girls all look when I go by, 'cause, well... Hey, who killed the music?
I come from the land down under.
This is how these are going to begin when you're in the same room.
Embarrassingly leaving my mic check on the track. Oh, man.
I'm okay with that. So, hello, Internet dwellers, and welcome back to Top Shelf, Disney Animation Studios Library. We have returned yet again for our 28th movie. Guys, we are halfway through the list.
We are.
As of the time of this recording.
We're halfway through. We've done it.
It's insane. We could just stop right here, right?
No, we got to go the distance, man.
Yeah.
I'm a completist myself.
Well, we haven't done Hercules yet. We can't go the distance.
Good point.
Haha.
Well,
I know my Michael Bolton songs.
Well played.
I'm Jeff. There's TC.
Hi,
He's
I'm back.
sitting across the room from me again. Our second week in a row.
Yep.
Second week in a row
The
here.
third time we've recorded live together.
Exactly. And boy, this is it's throwing me for a loop, TC. I don't know what to do.
Now when I'm not here again and we go back to having a delay, I don't know. We got some good feedback on our goofiness last week. I did get a couple tweets saying like, "Hey, this was a particularly fun episode."
That's what happens when we're not clear across the country or clear across the state.
Yeah.
Or not in the same room.
Instead, we're here.
We're here. We're here together, and we're staring each other down
And
intensely.
We're heading to the land down under.
And we headed down to the land down under,
Yeah.
where
This has been the plunder.
Yeah.
What did we watch today?
We watched the Men in Work music video for Land Down Under.
It is one of the most literal music videos you will ever see. He hands them a Vegemite sandwich.
It's like they didn't know what to do with this music video, and the studio told them make a music video.
That being said, Men at Work.
No,
Great band. Colin Hay, great acoustic singer-songwriter.
He's a fantastic acoustic singer.
What do we
I love
watch?
him. Whoa, that's right. We figured this week we'll just let you guys read the title. No, we watched the 1990 Disney sequel, the first official Disney sequel,
Yep.
The Rescuers Down Under.
Rescuers Down Under.
And it was fascinating.
Yeah. One Australian character in the whole thing.
I know, right?
Two. I guess Mom had an Australian accent. And
For the 30 seconds you heard her.
And Jake, the whatever kind of mouse he was.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, it feels okay. So I'm just gonna say this right off the bat. The movie didn't particularly feel Australian to me.
Yeah.
It felt like it could have taken place really anywhere.
The American Southwest, even.
Yeah, it could have easily been. Oh no, because then they would have had to be battling Fievel Goes West, and we don't want to deal with that movie sequel.
You don't.
That's the non-Disney movies. But like that was the one. That was my one major critique with it was that the whole like Australian like down under aspect of it was not really played up much.
That much. At the same time, it was a subtle. I mean, the landscape, the creatures that Cody was dealing with, the little boy in the movie Cody, were very. They were quite Australian, but it wasn't hammering you over the head Australian. So maybe you're just more used to the.
I'm just used to Crocodile Dundee.
Crocodile Dundee.
Basically, is what I'm used to.
Another shrimp on the bobby, eh?
Which I won't lie, the entire time I'm watching that movie. Not Crocodile Dundee, this movie, Rescuers Down Under, all I kept thinking about was why did they not get Paul Hogan to do the Australian mouse character?
Jake.
Jake. Why wasn't he like?
It's the too obvious of choice. Although, to be fair, I was curious why Cody, the main character, didn't have an Australian accent.
Yeah.
He's just a blonde-haired, blue-eyed American boy.
American boy living in the middle, like in a tiny little shack in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Very well dressed.
Yes, well, I mean, T-shirt and khakis, not a nick or bruise on anywhere on him.
Which is amazing considering the flippin' aerobatic high dive stunts that kid goes through. He ends up perfectly okay.
So Jeff,
yes,
have you seen this movie before?
No.
This is the first time.
This is one of those movies that if I'd seen it, I have absolutely no memory of actually ever seeing it.
This was a brand new experience for you. So, what's this movie about?
No. All right, so basically this movie is about a boy who saves a giant bird.
You were virgin on Christopher Walken there.
I was.
Movie.
It was a movie. It was about a bird. giant bird, a boy, and a bad man who just wanted the bird for his collection, which is weird because that collection is like just a room of exotic animals.
He must sell them.
He must, right?
But the thing is, he talked about catching Marahute, the golden eagle,
right,
and being filthy rich. But he already said he killed the dad. So where'd that money go?
Where'd that money go? He blew that money right off the bat. Well, here's the other thing that I want to just nitpick. That room full of animals, by the way, we never see them again. They're all in that room together. They're trying to break out. It's an entire set piece of the movie.
Yeah.
And then the boy just gets taken out.
We never go back.
And we never go back to that room.
Well, we can make assumptions. Either they went back and freed them, or Frank picked the lock again.
And eventually let him out by climbing on a piece of wood.
So you got a boy, you got an eagle, you got a poacher.
And basically the poacher wants the giant eagle for himself, and the boy knows where the giant eagle is, but he won't tell him, so he kidnaps the boy, which ultimately sends the radio message through the airwaves, which was a fun and fantastic sequence. I loved that sequence. Yep, traveling by map from Australia to New York. I loved that. I legitimately did love that sequence. That was a fantastic sequence.
I like the little Hawaiian mice with all the
Hawaiian shirts on. I love that one mouse that was just stuck somewhere where I don't even remember what was the random islands in the middle of the sea. That was it was like he just lived in a abandoned plane, probably from the war, and that's it. That's his life.
Maybe it was Amelia Earhart's plane.
Ooh, I like that idea. Is that a theory? Have you in theories?
I'm putting it out there.
It would have been great if there was like a little picture of like Amelia. No, so they send for the rescuers. So we
Rescue Aid Society.
Yep, we get Bob Newhart and Ava Green back, or Ava Gardner, Ava Gabor back. Goodness sakes, I cannot. It's a lot of Avas who come back and they get sent off. They with the help of Wilbur, what I can't remember the name of the bird.
Orville. He's an albatross.
Albatross. That's what it was. Yep. So it's Wilbur, which is Orville's brother from the first film. They fly to Australia, where they get the help of Jake, who is a mouse down there. I'm assuming he's part of the Rescue Aid Society.
No.
Or he
just manned the airport.
He manned the airport, which is so weird. And then together, the three of them go off to try to find the boy. They do find the boy, and they help the boy escape.
There you go. And this is a 77-minute movie.
Yes. And I think my description of the movie was longer than the movie itself. Just right now.
But you hit every beat, though. I mean, that's the whole story. Right?
It was a great movie. Like I'll kind of jump ahead a little bit here and just say that I thoroughly enjoyed the film. I do want to ask you a question regarding. So we've seen The Rescuers. We saw the first film, right. And as we made a comment in the beginning, this is the first official Disney sequel, which there's more information about the fact that because it didn't do so well in the box office, that's kind of the reason why a lot of the sequels are direct to video.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of the reason why. Also, there was supposed to be a third film.
Oh.
But Ava Gabor died before they could make it, so they scrapped it. And any other sequels.
Respectful not to recast her. I mean, she is Miss Bianca.
Right.
She's so perfectly cast for that role.
Yep.
But you were going to ask me.
But I was going to ask you, so because we've seen the first film, so the first film came out in 1977, this one came out in 1990, there's a 13-year gap between it. As sequels go, does it work as a sequel in your opinion? Like, watching the movie, or do you watch it going, yeah, that's what the sequel would have been? Where it's another adventure, it's another kid, it's another kidnapping. They go off again. There's more adventures, and we just keep going.
Yeah.
Or did it fall? Did it fail somewhere for you, and did it not live up to its original film?
I do think this is a very good sequel because it did everything that the first one did a little bit better. I don't know if McLeach is necessarily better than Madame Medusa because she was such a dynamic character,
right?
Very Cruella de Vil-esque. But the animation is stronger. How cinematic it is better. The camera work in this, is really quite impressive.
Yes.
They are moving cameras like a feature film. I made the note that this film doesn't necessarily feel like a Disney animated movie,
right?
But it does feel like a piece of cinema, like other romantic adventure movies you might get out of this era, like Romancing the Stone or an Indiana Jones-esque adventure film. There's the romance angle, Bernard versus Miss Bianca. And this feels like the type of sequel, in a good way, this feels like the type of sequel that we've been getting recently. Because they keep doing sudden sequels how many decades after the fact? Like Blade Runner, how many decades after the fact?
Right.
Predator, all these movies that Hollywood keeps going back to with not even soft reboots, just, hey, here's a sequel no one was asking for.
Right.
Here's a laundry list of those.
Yep.
This feels like that, but welcome. It's a welcome sequel. I think that this continues those elements placed in that first one. And yeah, 20 year, how many year gap?
17 or 13 years.
13 years, okay.
Yep. But still, that's a huge gap. I mean,
yeah,
considering for the 80s when we had movies, I guess Terminator was 8 years, but like you had Aliens Aliens, Alien 3, that was all in the 80s into the early 90s. I think Alien 3 was actually 91. Whatever. Yeah. But you had them, like, they're all very close to each other. You had all three Back to the Future films, Indiana Jones, Star Wars, all these movies.
Much
that
closer.
Like 2-3 years later, boom, that's the next sequel. And you didn't wait 13 years for a sequel to a movie.
It is interesting that this is the one they gave the big screen treatment to. But Rescuers was a success, so it's not entirely surprising that they would take this chance. It also doesn't surprise me that after this they realized, yeah, we're not going to pump all that into sequels when we can give them straight to video or give them to a different animation company.
Right.
Which is where things like Return to Neverland, Jungle Book 2, those are theatrically released.
That's a hard word.
Theatrically released feature animated films, but they are not animated by the Disney Animation Studios. Those are animated by one of the other Disney animation studios because they have multiple. They have Touchstone. They have what was James and the Giant Peach and that might also be Touchstone. Come to think of it, but they have other animation farms essentially.
Right.
So to give this one the big screen treatment, it's a little surprising that this is the one they did it to, but at the same time, it feels I felt okay with it. How about you? I mean, you've never seen this before, so
I might say something. I don't know because I don't know the love of the original one for a lot of people. And while I enjoyed the original one, I actually like this one better.
I agree. Yes,
I think I enjoyed this one better. Now again, I don't know if this is me looking through my nostalgia glasses because I look at this movie and I can see a lot of those elements that I remember from what I think of as a Disney movie. Like, yeah, McLeach, while he's not the strongest villain and he's very just kind of two-dimensional in the sense that, yep, he just wants to... He's a bad guy for being a bad guy's sake. He just wants the giant bird. That's it. Boom. It's a very simple plot. He's a poacher. That's he's a villain. That's why he's a bad guy. Even though he's not a very overly complicated character, he reminds me of like just the way he looks, how he talks, what his mentality. He reminds me of classic Disney villains. And yep, I'm okay with that. I agree with you and what you were saying about the camera work. I know I made a note about it, especially like, oh man, that opening sequence
is just like trucking it over the and the flight sequences too.
Oh yeah. Man, they're that whole thing. It's beautiful looking. All the animation is beautiful. Even very classic Disney-esque, which we've seen this before in even movies back in the 60s and the 70s with their films, where that opening sequence of it being like a push in through bushes and leaves and sticks and stuff like that.
And they use the pane system to create the focus change. Yeah.
Like that, just it felt very classic Disney, but it also felt very modern Disney. It was gorgeous how it looked and how well they did it. Now this is the first 100% digital movie.
Oh. Okay.
So they drew all the drawing is done by hand, but everything was scanned into a computer and was done digitally.
Well, I made a note that there's a lot to say coming off of Little Mermaid, but just specifically for this, the hand-drawn animation, which was transferred digitally, looks really, really good.
Yeah, it looks
solid.
solid.
Straight-up CG of like the city and the cars,
not so much.
Great. But then on the other hand, McLeach's tank thing looked great.
That looked great. And I made a note that any little thing, anything like any props that were CG, the little like forklift that the doctor uses while they're working on Wilbur is CG, and you can kind of tell it's CG just from how it's moving, but not in a bad way. That looked great. Like it looked completely believable. I bought it. I was in on it. But yeah, the flying in shot to the Sydney Opera House, and it like flew in, and you got close to it, and I'm like,
PlayStation 1.
What's going on, guys? Like, I know this is 1990. I know it's before.
But it's
that,
amazing.
But
New York looked, because they did it CG, looked worse than the original Rescuers, which was all the hand matte paintings,
Right.
the hand drawing. So it was just.
And it was weird because they mixed it up, because that, like, back on that Sydney shot, flying into the Sydney Opera House, it's CG, but then they cut to a reverse wide, and it's all a hand drawn static image
The
of the
hand drawn
city.
stuff looks really good.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily have like the over characteristics of the overly characteristic animated look that we've seen some even from like Madame Medusa, but there's still a really nice quality to the animation itself. It's oddly, even though it's about mice, this feels more like a grounded film than the outrageous or the over the top Disney that we even saw with Little Mermaid.
Right.
I mean, this isn't a musical, so that's going to change things.
Right.
In fact, I missed the music.
That was my note, too.
It's a little unfair because we should just focus on this movie on its own merits, as opposed to the fact that we saw this incredible Little Mermaid last week, and it doesn't fall short in a bad way, but coming off of Little Mermaid, knowing we have Beauty and the Beast next week,
Right.
it's weird that it stands out because it's not a musical.
It's definitely, and I made a comment at the end of last week's episode, or near the end of it, that I wanted to discuss this. I wanted to see if there was any influence with this movie that they had tried cramming at the last second because of how well Little Mermaid did. Obviously not, because the stuff that's in this movie that's great was obviously stuff that they had been working on that whole time.
Yeah.
But you can definitely see that there was a system where they were like, okay, look, we're working on Little Mermaid, we're working on Rescuers Down Under, we're working on Beauty and the Beast, because they were working on them all simultaneously.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming out once a year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, they're doing other, so they're like, we got all these going. Well, this one's a musical, this one's not, that one's another musical, maybe that'll work. Or maybe they had like early inklings because a Little Mermaid was getting good reviews. It's like, okay, no, we need to make sure this one's got music. It's too late for the Rescuers. We got to make sure this one does. But it looks obviously like they're trying stuff. They're like, let's see if this one works with music, this one doesn't. We'll see how the box office comes back. The one music didn't work so well. Okay, maybe we just scrap the music from the future ones. We just go back to traditional stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Little Mermaid was hugely successful, and it was too late to try to write song. I will guarantee.
Yeah, I don't think this would even have benefited from being a musical.
Right. Well, the Rescuers was not a musical.
No, it just had the Carpenters wannabe song
Yeah.
at the beginning, and that was it.
Which would have felt weird, I think, had there been music in.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I could picture the boy having a song,
Maybe singing to the bird.
singing to the
Or
bird in the
singing to
beginning.
animals. but-
Probably singing when he's caged. McLeach having a villain song about the fact that he's a poacher, which would be kind of fun. In all
Okay, you
fairness.
know what? You're selling me. You're selling me on this music. That being said, the orchestration in this is a character itself.
Yes.
Whoever composed this, you actually looked it up when we were watching it.
It's Bruce Broughton, or Bruce. Bruce. I think it's Bruce Broughton.
Broughton, okay.
Who I know from a lot of movies. He did the Monster Squad and a bunch of stuff I liked growing up as a child.
This has a really good score to it. That it really enhances the experience of the film. Continuing that, as I've been saying, this has a very standard movie quality to it. The orchestration helps move the pace along. The pace itself, this does not have the urgency that Little Mermaid has.
No.
And that is due in part to not having the music. I think the music really drives a story, especially contextual music.
Right.
But again, I kind of swinging back and forth. I'm not bashing this movie for its lack of music.
No.
I'm just pointing out just how different it is from Little Mermaid. And we're on movie number 9 here, so I should even consider the fact that the other movies on this list, like to look at Great Mouse Detective to this, to look at Oliver and Company to this, once again, just like Little Mermaid, you would think there was a decade between these things.
Oh yeah, not just 4 or 5 years between them, basically.
Like Oliver and Company stands out more and more for its shortcomings when you see what works so darn well with something like Rescuers Down Under here, because it's a cleaner film. I don't know what version. We did not watch any Blu-ray or we did not watch any enhanced release because it had the blue and white Disney logo at the front, which they replace for the Blu-ray. So we watched the original release of this film,
Right.
home release of this film. I believe. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but
It was a high def copy of it, but I don't know if it was necessarily a Blu-ray copy.
you were noticing some edge.
There
edge
was
line.
so it was weird while watching the movie. I kept noticing, and this is my technical side because this is what I do. I'm an editor during the daytime, so I look for silly, goofy mistakes like this a lot of times. But the one thing I noticed was that on the edges, there was a couple different times where like foreground elements would disappear before they like okay. There's the scene when man, I'm spacing on the characters' names again. I'm terrible at names.
Just name what they look
Bob
like.
Newhart's character,
Bernard.
is riding on the back of the snake when they're heading off through the swamp, the swampy area, and there are like reeds, like plant reeds, like passing in front of him in the foreground. On 2 occasions, 2 of them as they passed, they've glitched off the camera, off the frame before they reached the edge of the frame. They just disappeared for like the last 2 frames. But then the ones after that stayed on the whole time. It was a weird little hiccup I noticed, and I don't know.
See, if it was an enhanced version, they probably would have fixed
They would have fixed that, and that's the thing that's weird about it. And it happened like 2 or 3 times. It didn't happen a lot, but it was enough that I started noticing it after a while. It's almost like it was supposed to be formatted for full frame, and they just didn't realize
trim it in. Maybe.
what happened.
So let's actually discuss the characters. So first up, Ava, Miss Bianca.
Yep.
Lovely as ever. It's such an interesting. I don't know how much I don't recall how much we talked about it when we watched The Rescuers, but Ava Gabor is so perfectly cast for this.
Yeah.
She Miss Bianca is such a classy dame.
Yep.
Like she's she's a pleasure to watch.
Very warm and caring. There's definitely like a motherly sense to her, but there's also this slightly aloof aristocrat type vibe that I get from her, just from her tone of her voice, and it's just her accent. It's just their Hungarian accent.
But she's very sweet. I do. Well, how do you feel this? I liked the Bernard trying to propose to her subplot of this. It gives it that romantic adventure feel that this movie feels like it's more a part of.
Right.
And I really enjoyed Bernard's arc in this because he feels so emasculated by Jake, and he's so nervous, and he's just trying to propose to her, and he sets all his insecurities aside when the chips are down.
Right.
When Cody goes in that water, Bernard doesn't even sink.
Right.
He sinks,
goes-
but he doesn't think.
he
He
does
dives
sink.
in. He just dives in full. He's a man of action, and he's an unlikely man of action, right? Jake seems like the character who he's got his lasso, he's doing all the rope tricks, and he's a cool action hero. But Bernard is this dopey dude who is very nebbish and nervous and
would just much rather be at home, probably
but
not
he's-
doing anything.
He rises to the occasion every time, and I don't know. There's something special in that for me, that he is a really neat character in that respect. That he's not the obvious hero, but he's very heroic.
And he has grown a little bit since the last time we've seen him in the last film, but at the same time he is still very much so his character. He's still Bernard,
Nervous
and nervous
hold on a minute. Miss Bianca.
It was weird. And yeah, it's nice to see. Unfortunately, Miss Bianca does still feel like the exact same character. I guess that if there's any negative connotations, she hasn't really changed, but she wasn't a character that felt like she needed to change.
Mm-hmm. You could interpret that she's very secure in who she is, and she makes the decisions she's going to make no different than she did before. Bernard has grown as a character, and he grows over the course of this film in the 70 minutes we see, the 70 minutes this movie exists.
Yeah, because once he grabs, once he learns from Jake about the whole, you just have to
look him in the eye
and tell him. And then when he does it to the warthog, which I still say was Pumbaa. I like to think that it was Pumbaa, guys. I know Lion King takes place in Africa. Whatever. Pumbaa got on a boat.
We don't know where he ran out.
That's true. He probably got on a boat and ended up elsewhere.
Well, when he was a young warthog. Okay.
Well, he did fart, and everybody told him to leave the kingdom.
Yeah,
so he left Australia, moved to Africa, and met Timon.
Makes perfect sense.
Hey, the dogs from the Lady and the Tramp cross the sea. Why can't for Oliver and Company? So why can't Pumbaa cross the sea for the Lion King?
Why not?
I think this is our own shared universe. Disney theory for the week. There you go, guys. And
now, though I am complimenting Bernard's adventure here, and I'm complimenting Ava's performance in Miss Bianca, there is something noticeable about this film, and it struck me as we were watching it.
Is it the fact that the rescuers are barely in it?
No, okay, well, there is that. There is that.
That's what I noticed in this movie.
I'm looking a little below the surface here.
Okay.
This movie is slightly more, it's not sexist, but it's a slightly more masculine film than the first one was.
Okay.
You have the love triangle, like the two men trying to win over Miss Bianca the prize. She's beautiful at first sight. She's still proactive, but Bernard takes the front seat in this one, whereas she took the front seat in the other one. And you could take that as a nice juxtaposition or parallel from the first one.
Right.
But you could also look at that this they manned it up a little bit. Even the fact that the villain is a man, the protagonist in Cody is a boy,
right,
as opposed to Medusa and Penny in the first one. And it's just something that struck me that this. Whereas Miss Bianca was really empowering in the first one, Madame Medusa being the villain, and we even praised Penny for being a great little heroine in Rescuers, this one feels more like a boys' movie.
Right.
And even going so far as the first one definitely passes the Bechdel test. Do you know the Bechdel test? Mm-hmm. This one does not. So those who might be listening, this is a little movie test that was created in the past couple decades. It's called the Bechdel test, and the Bechdel test is in a feature film, or this can work for television as well, but in a feature film in particular, do two named female characters have a conversation with each other, not about a man, anywhere in the film?
Right.
And with that test, you would be shocked how few films actually pass that test. And it's an interesting challenge to offer writers, and it's an interesting social commentary on the fact of how underrepresented females can be, even in films that are more of a larger female cast. How it can be surprising that it's like, oh, you had 5 females in this movie, and not once did any of them talk to each other about anything but the main dude in this movie. So that's super minor, because having a little boy as your main character as opposed to a little girl, having Mick Leach be a poacher as a man relatively makes more sense than a poaching female. So whether that was an inherent sexism or just a product of it, it's just something that struck me as interesting.
It didn't even dawn on me, like that the fact that it was the opposite. It basically was the opposite setup from the last film.
Yeah.
And I guess like you said, I could look at it as, well, no, the last one we did it was a girl and it was a female villain. We don't want to do the female villains, because really, if you think about it, so like Ursula was the villain in The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
But then the next series of them, even like Oliver and Company, it was men as the bad guys.
Yep.
Beauty and the Beast, it's men. Aladdin, it's men. Like they get back into this string where the guys are all the villains, whereas there was a lot of female villains in the 50s and the 60s Disney movies, because there was always like, the evil queen or the evil witch. It was all these female villain, Cruella de Vil. And
isn't that crazy? If you think of it in terms of that though the Renaissance we can praise the Renaissance of this era that we've entered into with Little Mermaid and going beyond, for its advancements in structure and animation and storytelling and the music and the characters. It is interesting how less represented women tend to be. They become more the prizes and less the protagonists in a fashion. To be determined, obviously, we're going to go back and look at, off the top of my head right now, without thinking too far ahead, Jasmine is more proactive despite being the prize. Nala is far more proactive. Even Sarabi is more proactive as a female character. So, you know what? Forget everything I just said.
I did. Welcome back to the last 5 minutes.
Cody as a character. I liked Penny more.
Yes.
She was a cuter character. But at the same time, Cody is a rescuer himself.
Right.
This movie starts with him rescuing rescuing the eagle.
The eagle.
And he has his little rescuers team. He has those 3 little wombats, the kangaroo,
The
who
kangaroo,
helped him.
yep.
There's another creature I'm forgetting.
The key thing so that actually, you bring up the fact that he is kind of a rescuer does make me kind of think, because okay, so my one, we're taking a quick just a little sidebar here.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that I noticed about the film, as I previously mentioned, was the rescuers themselves, Miss Bianca and Bernard, don't show up for so long into the movie. It's a good while before they show up.
10 maybe 15 minutes.
Right. Which out of a movie that's 107 or an hour and 17 minutes long, for your main characters, the characters that the title of the movie are technically named after, don't show up for 15 minutes until 15 minutes in. And then when they do show up, there's a lot of, I mean, the whole sequence of Cody trying to break out of the jail and all those other characters and the poacher, they're not in that sequence at all. And they don't really do a ton of stuff until the end. They kind of felt a little tacked on to me.
Yeah.
But you could argue that by Cody being a rescuer himself, the title of the movie being The Rescuers Down Under could actually be referring to Cody and his group of people and Jake and all of them.
Yeah.
And it just happens to be that Miss Bianca and Bernard come into the story.
Yeah, you know what? I'm willing to look at the film that way, to think that they are not. I mean, they're supporting characters to Cody.
Right. Like that the title referring to The Rescuers Down Under aren't saying the rescuers from the first film Down Under, but it's actually saying it's about the rescuers down under. It's the rescuers who live in Australia.
So they're almost special guest stars in this story.
right. And nothing wrong. Like what in the movie still worked. It wasn't like it suffered because it didn't. Granted, according to some of the reviews that the critics were giving it when it came out, it did suffer for the fact that they were barely in the movie or seemingly not in the movie.
It's what I would assume people came to see them. Okay,
Right.
The rescuers are back. Where the heck are they? Or people went in like, "Hey, Little Mermaid was great. This is gonna be awesome. Where's the music,
Yep.
Mom?" I'm sorry. Where's the music, Mom? Nope, that was too young.
What? I was like, my 1-year-old child just asked me a full-length question. Also, why do you not? This is your first words. Is where's the music, Mom?
Yeah.
Next, you're gonna be saying is not the mama.
Not the mom.
Or where's the beef? I guess it could have been better.
You're all over the board here, Jeff. George C. Scott.
George C. Scott.
Another legendary Hollywood actor voicing a Disney villain.
Yep.
You go from Vincent Price and there was someone else in the mix here that was like, oh, that's a classic person speaking right now.
Right. I'm spacing on.
That doesn't matter. But George C. Scott, he did a great job.
Oh, and man, he did not phone that performance in whatsoever. He gave it his full 100% because you could hear it in his delivery. Like it actually, to me, kind of sounded like he was having fun with it, but not in the "ooh, I get to be a villain again" or like "oh, I get to we're just gonna make this over the top." He
gave it.
I could see him doing the live action version of that character,
and he's evil.
Yeah,
he was gonna kill the kid.
Yeah, he was gonna kill the kid.
Kill Cody. Like, he wasn't going to shoot him, but he was definitely going to let those alligators finish the job.
Yep.
Or crocodiles, whatever.
Yeah, I had made that note too. I didn't know. I wrote down alligators and I went, "Oh crap! Someone's going to say they're crocodiles, aren't they?" I don't remember what the difference is.
Wasn't it gator something?
Oh, it was Gator Cove.
There you go.
So I will say
So
that they are
crocodiles.
alligators. They're crocodiles.
Alligator.
They're crocodiles. Allidiles.
So not only is George C. Scott's vocal performance just really great here, Joanna, his sidekick, his King Cobra. What is that? Gila Monster.
Gila Monster.
Yeah.
She
is so great. This is interesting.
Voiced by Frank Weller.
Really? That
Yes.
was a voice. I didn't even realize there was a. I guess there was because she's like.
Yeah. Every time there's any kind of animal, it's always him. He does animals. He does Abu. He does all of them.
Yeah. Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Same guy. It's just because he does animals so well.
Well.
Oh, I loved
Joanna,
her as a character.
It was she's actually it's a toss up. I'm gonna give it to Joanna because she has some of the best physical gags in this whole movie.
The freaking egg scene.
Egg. I wrote that down. The egg. There's a scene. If you guys did not rewatch this, there's one scene alone worth you getting on YouTube to watch.
It's got to be on YouTube.
And
I will find it and I'll post it.
If it's so Jeff will
If I
post
can
it
get it.
below. If you're listening to this on ghosthat.net, it'll be in the. If it exists, we're gonna put it below.
Yep, I'll put it.
So it's McLeach is trying to figure out how to manipulate Cody.
I wasn't even paying attention to what he was saying. I was just like, nope, I'm watching her. Keep going.
And it's a single shot, wide shot of him at like a table, and he's trying to. And the whole time, Joanna just keeps stealing eggs from his lunchbox, and it's so well done. Like
Her eyes pop up on the right hand side.
the tail over on the left.
Yep. And then like all it is like it goes all the eggs are just in a box, just the box that opens and shuts. And that was her getting it.
Chunk. That is some solid gold comedy right there.
Oh my goodness. Oh, actually, if you just Google or if you YouTube Rescuers Down Under Joanna, the first 4 results are her stealing the eggs.
There you
So
go. That is such an incredible gag. Like that is so. It's perfectly timed. It's such a and it has a very vaudevillian classic quality to it.
And it's so weird. It honestly, as much as I loved it, it feels incredibly out of place in this movie.
Oh, no way.
Because I'm like, why are we doing this gag? I'm okay with it, but why are we doing this?
It was a very clever exposition dump because they distracted you with the physical gags of what's going on, but George C. Scott works through everything. McLeach works through his entire plot in that scene.
Right.
And so instead of having an info dump driving or walking or going or talking to Cody and telling his whole master plan, this is very smart from a storytelling perspective, but from a villain perspective that you don't get very often. McLeach doesn't tell Cody his plan. He works it all out by himself, and that could be a boring scene. So how do you distract from that? You have that whole egg gag going on.
Which would be then for the adults are paying attention and actually understanding what his plan is and laughing at what's happening. But then the kids are just laughing at the goofy animal sidekick bouncing around and taking the eggs. But that's what I was. Like I said, I have no idea what McLeach said. You said he was working on his plan how to take. I have no idea what he said.
The best part is that it's a nice cause and effect of storytelling that he can't satisfy his ideas. Like, how is he going to do it? And he gets mad at Joanna and he's going to throw I'm going to kill you. I gave you these eggs. I gave you these eggs. And that's it.
It's the eggs. So it's not just a completely out of the blue gag. Mm-hmm. It does actually help further the plot along nicely.
It's a really, really well done.
And I did find it. I will post it. Actually, the one clip I found on YouTube has like about a minute or so leading up to it, just to explain what the eggs were, and all that fun stuff.
Gives you some context.
Gives you some context in case you didn't watch it.
Yeah. So if you didn't watch it, it's there. But as much as Joanna was animated with some of the best physical gags, like there's a point where she goes to eat the egg and it's a rock, and her tooth just falls out.
She scrapes it with her nails, and then as she scrapes it, all of her nails are popping off, and then she just has like stubs.
Yeah, but
it's fantastic.
As much as she got some great physical stuff, some laugh out loud moments from Mr. John Candy as Wilbur the Albatross. John Candy, and I have no indication if he ad-libbed some of these lines or if they were scripted, but what a great performance from him as well.
When he opened after they turned the radio off and he stopped singing, and you could hear John Candy talk.
Hey, shut off the music.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a part of me inside that got all warm and tingly, because it's just like, oh, it's John Candy, and because I'd never seen this, I feel like I consider myself not a John Candy aficionado, but I've seen most things he's in, and I know most things. So I know John Candy's performances. I know Home Alone. I know Uncle Buck. I know Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I know, well, obviously he's in the Blues Brothers. Like I know his movies.
Oh, I'm sorry. The Moose should have told you out front. Wally World's closed.
Sorry, folks. Park closed. Moose out front should have told you.
There you go.
I know my John Candy, but to hear him delivering lines that I have never heard before in my life, it was actually kind of a nice little present to me.
He's got some great lines
just
in this.
Fast
so much
one-liners.
So that, Orville from the first one, though he's got that classic voice. He's a classic voice actor for Orville, but man, John Candy blows Wilbur away. So it's funny because Joanna has all these great physical moments. John Candy has a lot of the great dialogue in this. Like when he's being tortured by the hospital mice, he's like no, don't do this thing. I'm fine. I'm like, oh my god, I have been skewered.
He is another one that I like to think just had a blast doing it when he was
he
like,
sounded it.
yeah, well, like they told him like, hey, we want you to do a voice in this Disney movie. He was probably all over it. He was like, yes, sweet, let's
Dream
have
come
fun,
true.
let's do it.
I can't imagine there are too many people out there that voicing a Disney character isn't a dream come
Exactly.
true. So let's see what else Joanna talked about. Let's talk about Merhute, the MacGuffin of the movie. So the Golden Eagle. I don't know how you felt about the animation, but legendary Glenn Keane was responsible for the animation on Merhute, even going so far as Katzenberg tried to convince him, another little Katzenberg anecdote, he tried to convince him to let them digitally create Merhute because there's too many feathers on her. It'll just be too much work. And Glenn Keane said, no, I'm going to do this with my animation team. You let me do this. And he did it. And so he got they were animating out of Glendale. So the Los Angeles Historical Animal Museum gave him eagles for his office. He went out and studied eagles. He went out of his way to watch these things live and breathe and move, and to create Merhute.
And you can definitely tell by watching it. For a character, and this is a question we're going to come back to about some animals talk and some don't. We're coming back to that.
Yeah.
I wrote that down as a discussion. But for an animal that does not speak and does not actually talk, outside of normal bird animal noises, it conveyed so much emotion in just like the little ticks of its head. And like which as you watch, you're going, well, yeah, that's a bird. Like that's what birds do. But they were the right ticks that they actually worked as responses to what Cody was asking or what the other characters were actually saying and doing. And it was so well animated, so
Beautifully
well
animated.
done. Oh,
Yeah, it's
absolutely gorgeous.
Glenn Keane, man, he's a master of animation, and you see that through if those who've been listening, I pointed out some of the major accomplishments, the major things he's done, such as the bear fights last week for Ariel. He really wanted to do her hair, like that was his like, let me do this, please, let me do part of your world, let me animate this thing. And Merhute, and he's not a young guy at this point, like he's a veteran of animation, and he rolled with the punches into this new era really well.
Yeah. And that was TC's Katzenberg moment.
I don't think I have any. Oh, there was a little controversy with this movie in that at some point during development, someone did suggest that maybe they should have an Aboriginal as the main character instead of a little blonde boy from America. And Katzenberg said no. He said, and it was in a set, not in so many words, we'll be able to sell this to an American audience if it's a little American blonde boy as opposed to a little Aboriginal boy.
And then when the movie didn't do well, he pulled all the marketing for it.
Which is, what a son of a...
Yes. Now, in all fairness, this came out in 1990, and it came out in the fall, and a few weeks later, Home Alone came out, which...
That made all the money.
Obviously took all the cash. Ironically, also, with John Candy.
Yes. So I think a live-action John Candy makes more than an animated John Candy.
Apparently, even though a animated John Candy has a lot better one-liners than a live-action John Candy does, when comparing it to Home Alone... Yes, the story he tells about taking his kid to the funeral home. Yes, or leaving his kid to the funeral. But
we're on a tangent.
But I'm just for the record because I know John Candy.
You'll finally get tweets. Hey, John Candy is a legend of
he
film.
is a national treasure. I was going to say idol, and I'm like, that's not the term.
He's an American Idol.
He's an American. No, he's not. He's Canadian.
He is Canadian. So it was interesting that Katzenberg wouldn't be interested in doing something that shouldn't seem like a far stretch, but as progressive as casting an Aboriginal, an Australian native, someone of Aboriginal descent as the main character, as was pitched to him.
Right.
But they did have, I don't know if this is necessarily an environmental film, but it's about poaching.
It's about poaching. Well, and then, I mean, McLeach's vehicle that he travels around in was destroying swaths of forest when he went out there to open up the trap that he had set, that Cody gets trapped in originally, which I just had flashbacks to Fern Gully, is what I was thinking of, you know? It's just like, no, it's Fern Gully. They're destroying the rainforest. Like, that's where my head went, which I understand. This is that very much so. It's very... It was that time frame, which I know it's still an important message today.
It's different now. We're talking the Captain Planet era here, right? This is when going green and Earth Day and recycling was becoming a thing,
Right.
and hadn't had the backlash that it has now.
Right.
Obviously, I'm not trying to get political in how people feel about it, the environments, but it is clearly a hot button issue now.
Right.
It wasn't in the past.
Right.
It just became something that people decided they were going to fight about instead of all agreeing, oh yeah, killing endangered species is a bad thing.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what was wrong. McLeach was just out there, he was just his God-given right to kill the animals.
I mean, if they can't defend themselves, then why are they alive?
Yeah, if animals were meant to be able to stop hunters, they'd be born with guns.
Yeah. They would also be bearing arms of bears. Okay.
Actually, you know what? Because you just offered up that pun, I want you to set me up for a pun.
Okay.
There was another voice actor in here. You looked him up while his voice appeared.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead and tell the audience who that voice actor was.
So that other voice actor was the was it the one that I went, oh yeah, I know him from the other movies?
Nope. It was the koala.
Oh! It was. Oh, I'm so sorry. It was.
When Cody is captured with all the other animals, Frank the lizard.
That's
there's
right.
A kangaroo. There's a platypus. There's a koala in there.
I looked up two of them. So this was Douglas Seal.
Who's that?
It was the guy who, if you guys may not know, was also the Sultan in Aladdin. Also was Santa Claus in Ernest Saves Christmas. He's done a lot of stuff. What are you trying to set me up for? Where am I trying to go?
I could have sworn. Now I got to look something up. Before I set myself up for disappointment here, but I'm just going to quickly look real quick. So, another point of conversation, Jeff. What other notes do you have? Well, this is like an utter failure of comedy. This is like the worst gag ever.
I don't know. I think I love it. It's fantastic. You know what? We've gone 28 episodes.
You bare arms, and I'm like, I'm going to give them the silent beats for the gag there. You get that. Now set me up for a good pun. Hold on a minute. I got to do some research on the pun here. Unbelievable.
This pun will continue in next week's episode, halfway through Beauty and the Beast. No, there is one thing I do want to discuss, and it's weird. Okay, so we're in a world, and I don't remember. I think this was kind of the case as well, and this has come up in a couple other Disney movies that we watched about the whole animals talking. Okay, and why are there some animals that can talk and others cannot? For example, why can the giant bird not talk to Cody, but obviously Cody can talk to Miss Bianca and Bernard, and can talk to Jake, and can talk to the kangaroo, and can talk to all the other animals that were in that room with him when he was under McLeach's care. Why is there what is the rules about what animals can and cannot talk? Is it a size thing? Is it because the bird was gigantic and then she no longer was able to talk? What do you think that case is? Because it's bothered me.
It does feel like that it's just who needs to talk in this scene and who doesn't.
Like a convenience thing?
It's a convenience thing, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they could have cast a female actress to do the voice of the bird. They could have gotten somebody. They could have gotten, I don't know whom.
But at the same time, it would not have been as effective if Marahute could speak.
If she opened her mouth and it was Bette Midler.
Yeah. Well, then we would need a song.
Yes, then it would then the entire movie would be a musical at that point.
It is interesting when some characters can't, because Wilbur can talk.
Wilbur
He's a
can talk,
bird,
yeah.
But none of the other birds can talk.
Right. I understand when it's like with Oliver and Company where animals talked with animals, but still they talked to the caregiver, the guy who was helping them, the one that was
no they
never talked to him.
Yeah.
So I understand that. Okay, if animals talk within themselves but don't talk to humans, 101 Dalmatians is like that.
Yeah,
completely understand. But when you have animals who can talk to humans, but then some animals do not talk.
Yeah. And it's inconsistent because it couldn't. If it was just the rodents talking to the rodents, sure,
right.
But you have someone like Wilbur who can talk, but Marahute who can't. The snake that Jake captures can't talk.
Right. I mean, I guess this goes along the lines with like the same ridiculous question as to why Pluto is a dog and he doesn't talk and has to be a dog, but then Goofy is allowed to wander around this earth as a dog, and he's Mickey's friends. Also, he never takes his gloves off, and it's really weird.
Also weird, yeah.
So, are you ready for me to set you up for a pun?
No, because I would be wrong.
Okay.
No, okay, this is so stupid. I'm so...
Was it Bernard Fox? Because I looked up 2 of them.
No. I thought... I'm explaining. This is so dumb.
No, that's fine. Let's do
Okay,
it.
let's pretend in this fantasy world
Yes.
that Desmond Llewellyn was the voice of the koala bear.
Okay.
So now you tell me in this fantasy world that Desmond Llewellyn was the koala bear. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right.
Jeff,
So
set me up.
So
set me up.
TC,
Yeah.
the koala bear was voiced by Desmond Llewellyn.
Desmond Llewellyn?
Yes.
I think you mean a koala.
Oh my god. That silence was a legitimate stunned silence.
I'm so embarrassed. So if you've listened through this whole episode, hashtag koala.
Q, the letter Q.
Koala.
Oala. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. I will be here all week.
Next week, TC will not be here.
Oh, man, I'm so stupid.
No, that's fine. It's perfectly okay. Well, you know what we're gonna do then, TC?
What's it?
Since I feel like we are nearing our end of our notes a little bit, I'll let you look through your notes. Let me do my tropes, and then if there's anything else you got, we'll go.
I got one more quick note.
Okay, what's your
all
go.
the movies we've
Oh,
watched?
you can't do that. It was the trope time.
Okay.
I was trying to get the tropes.
Okay, trope it up. I'm just trying to make up for how ashamed I am.
Koala.
If it had been Desmond Llewellyn, that would have killed.
Oh, it would have
killed. Jeff.
It would have killed at every Bond comic or BondCon. BondCon.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I'd want to go to BondCon. I feel like that'd be a very dirty place.
There's a lot of leather here.
It's like I don't think they understood what this was supposed to be about.
All right, trope it up for us.
So the Disney tropes, I actually have a couple of them for this week's, and there's a lot of the same ones we've hit, and you saw me write down 2 of them, because I made a large hand gesture.
Yep.
Number 1, single parent of the main protagonist.
Cody's mom. Is she ever even on screen?
She is on screen
when he
delivers the pack, but it's only from her mouth down. That was one thing I did not write down, but I should have. The fact that the only human who's ever actually seen and you see and hear talk simultaneously, because you hear his mom shout, but she's not on screen, and then you see her on screen, but she doesn't talk. Even the policeman that comes to the door to deliver the bag, you never hear him talk, and he's only from the back. But it was interesting that McLeach was the only human that you actually saw.
Well, Cody and McLeach.
Cody and McLeach.
Adult human, I see what you're saying,
But like everybody else was just kind of kept as...
that could have been a deliberate choice of placing the whole film from a child's point of view.
Right, because it was lower and from a distance when he's running away to go play or to go save the animal in the beginning. It's amazing. But yeah.
Single mother.
The villain has an animal sidekick.
Joanna.
A protagonist. Well, I had this one written down. I'm actually going to take this one back because it didn't stick around. So never mind for that one. As I'm reading it, I'm like, nope, never mind. Forget that one.
So what Jeff, you just did there is you saw something you wrote, and you made the wise decision to not even say it, as opposed to seeing a notes and deciding to commit to telling this joke.
TC, set me up for this note. Let's set me up for this joke.
I won this episode.
TC, I am an editor, so this is what I do for a living. I edit my own stuff all the time. So I'm going to skip that one. And yes, TC, you won this episode.
Yes.
That'd be a fun thing to kind of maybe do in the future. We'll talk about that later. So number 3, a villain falls to his death.
Yep.
Which I was... Oh, man. Okay, so spoilers for the end of the movie, I guess.
Yeah.
We're outside of the spoiler territory. It's okay. Pulling back from the AFI, whether or not we can spoil a movie. But it's over 15 years? Isn't that the spoiler?
I'd like to think that anyone who's going to listen to these either has seen the movie or isn't going to rewatch it.
Right. Also, I just spoiled the fact that McLeach dies, okay, guys? Come on.
Warning. Anyhow.
But so when he falls into the water, so the alligator thing, and when right before he falls over, I'm like, oh, okay, he's gonna get eaten by the alligators. So this is gonna be that the villain dies. Actually, I was happy because I'm like, oh, the villain's gonna fall to his death and then be eaten by the alligators. So he's gonna fall to his death and be killed by his own trap. Much like the Black Cauldron, much like a lot of the like some of the villains we've had in the past, where a thing they've set up to kill the good guy has actually killed themselves. Backfired. I got really excited for a minute. I'm like, ooh, it's a double header.
I'm gonna get to see this guy mauled by alligators.
It's gonna be fantastic. But then he just fell off the waterfall. Either way, I was still excited that a villain fell to his death. And then another one, which we've had happen a couple times, a protagonist death fake out. In the sense that Cody goes over the waterfall, and it's that moment where, oh, did he die too? And then he's saved, or it happened in, oh man, what was the movie? Great Mouse Detective. Yes. Yep, where it's like, oh no, did he actually die? Oh nope, he's alive. Like it's the whole protagonist death fake out, which I like that. Like that's actually kind of a fun trope just to say in my head. I like saying protagonist death fake out. So, but that was all my tropes for this week.
Right, there was some recycled animation in Wilbur's flight cycle. They used Orville's takeoff from the original Rescuers.
Which, see, and that makes sense to me because they're supposed to be brothers. Which, by the way, let's just quickly mention Orville and Wilbur, Wright.
Correct. Yes.
The Wright brothers.
The Wright brothers. Clever.
My original thought was that did they name Wilbur after Wilbur the pig from Green Acres as an in joke to Ava Gabor?
Oh yeah.
But then I'm like, oh no, the first birds was no, it's the Wright brothers. Never mind. That's the joke they went with. Which that makes sense. So if they're brothers, okay, they might have the same takeoff. Yeah, that's fine. So that's an okay recycled animation.
Some good, but I even was expecting them to do, once he falls off the roof, to do the Goofy yell, which they had done in Rescuers, but instead he said Cowabunga.
He's modern, and he also, little known fact, Wilbur watches Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Hey, he was rocking out to that music.
It's very fitting for John Candy.
That little subplot with him making him a much bigger supporting character than Orville was in Rescuers, giving him the whole hospital with the evil looking doctor and those little cute little nuns straight out of Cinderella.
Yep.
Heave ho, heave ho.
Yep. Very sadistic.
That was a fun little side story,
which didn't need to be in the movie.
No,
they really could have that could have been entirely cut, and it doesn't have any bearing on the plot, except it was just more for John Candy and Wilbur to do. Which a part of me wonders if that was not something that kind of came out of like the audio recording. Like they had an idea for him, but they were having just so much fun. They're like, nope, let's just keep this going. Let's make this scene longer. Just keep it going. Keep it going. Everyone's okay with John Candy. More John, please. More Candy.
All right. Well, I do have some. Hey, you know what? Of all the movies we've watched,
you did it again.
I want to get. I threw it at you before, but
I know.
Like we're getting ahead of ourselves here.
That's true.
So I don't have any expectation of where you might put this. I certainly don't think it's going to be number one.
It's not number one.
It's very clear we were head over heels in love with The Little Mermaid.
Was fantastic. You know, do you have mine down there by chance?
I don't have yours. Sorry.
I was looking for mine.
Do you want to look it up?
Let me look up mine. You do what you rank yours.
All right. So I am placing this pretty much right in the middle. It's below middle here. I'm making it number 6, just above the original Rescuers. And you know what? After our conversation, I think I'm going to make it my number 5 above Fox and the Hound.
Oh.
It's tough. As anyone listening to this knows, as we go through our list, we group these in 10, and we rank them 1 through 10 before we move on to the next section. And when we all are said and done, we'll have a head-to-head competition between all our number 1s. Currently, both Jeff and I have Little Mermaid as our number 1.
But only for so long, TC.
I'm gonna commit to putting it at number 6. Number 6, yeah.
You a number 6?
Above Rescuers, Oliver and Company, and Black Cauldron. Just in that Fox and the Hound is a little more special because of how heartbreaking of a film it is. Great Mouse Detective, Robin Hood, Pooh, Little Mermaid, all those are more fun movies. They've stood the test of time really nicely. I think, as you've heard, we have a lot of nice to say about Rescuers Down Under, but I don't necessarily feel like I would return to this one very quickly. This isn't one that is resonating with me like the ones above it have. So I'm going to put it at number 6 with minor hesitation.
You literally just made me change my score.
Oh man! What? Seriously?
No. It dropped one number.
Okay.
You saying it doesn't resonate with you as much as the other ones. Made me adjust my number. For me, it's not number 1. It definitely was not number 1. I was going to say number 2.
Really?
I was going to put it above, and it's John Candy.
Yeah,
it's flat out. It is Wilbur, the character of Wilbur.
Joanna and John
Joanna
are definitely why I hesitated to put it where I put it.
And I really enjoyed listening to George C. Scott just give
Man,
it himself.
Can I move mine? Can I make mine number 5? It's too late. I've committed.
Do you want to make it number 5?
I'm gonna make it number 5,
Okay,
everybody.
you're making it number 5. The episode's not done yet. The rule is that we can't go back and change it after the episode.
fact.
That's the rule.
I've never hemmed and hawed that much, but I've never changed rank before. I've committed to rank.
Yep.
So I'm gonna bump it up to number 5.
Number
You're
5.
right.
Those 3 things.
After
That's
all
it.
the praise of those 3, how could I not? I mean, Fox and the Hound does have this heartbreaking, beautiful story, but when it comes down to it, the characters are so much more memorable in Rescuers Down Under here. So please, continue.
It's funny that my reasoning for why it's going to be where it's at has nothing to do with the actual rescuers characters.
Well,
it's the side characters that are in the villain that just makes it fun. And the beautiful animation. I mean, it's gorgeous. For me, it is number 3.
Okay, so below
Little Mermaid and then The Fox and the Hound.
Okay.
Like I said, it was number 2. I had put it above Fox and the Hound. I knew it was not number 1. Like, I loved it. Was fun to watch. I knew it was not. It's not going to be Little Mermaid. I'm sorry. Little Mermaid is brilliant.
There's no Goosebumps had in this one.
Plus, there's no songs. But if we could have gotten the Poacher song from McLeach and then a incoherent song from his sidekick.
You know what? If this movie had been made just after The Lion King, they would have hired Colin Hay to do the entire soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
It would have been a musical.
It would have absolutely. Oh man, that would have been brilliant. No, I'm putting it at number 3 because I don't have that strong of a connection with like Winnie the Pooh. I loved Winnie the Pooh. It was a fantastic movie. I loved it. And The Great Mouse Detective was a lot of fun. Was very enjoyable. I loved what they did as a Sherlock Holmes story. It was great. It was fun. And Vincent Price was just brilliant in that movie as the villain is. But for me, The Fox and the Hound is still. I would go back to it because it's just such a moving film for me. And obviously, like I said, Little Mermaid's whatever. But with Little Mermaid, whatever. It's fine. Won't be number 1 next week. If I'm just gonna spoil.
What? I have not razzed you about that in like 6 episodes.
I know. I'm just getting them all in now. But yeah, the performances. Like I would put this. Unfortunately, I'd put this movie on just to watch the John Candy and the Joanna scene. That's all I'd be like, nope, I just want those scenes. Thank you. I'll make a cut of it that's just them.
Well, I do have a tweet from a listener.
Ooh.
Is that all you had to say?
That's all I had to say. Yeah, no,
you gave me a great segue,
number 3,
so I was going to jump on it. So. So if you'd like to tweet at us, you can tweet at me at TC's Big Head. You can tweet at Jeff at Random Bell. If you got a question for us or a comment that you want us to mention up on the on the episode, we're happy to do it. Also, you can hit up facebook.com/topshelfpod, where we post our episodes before we record. We did not post our Rescuers Down Under before recording today because I didn't want to step on Colin and Lindsay's toes.
Right,
Because they had just released their new episode of Top Shelf Oscars Best Picture Showcase, which their most recent one was King's Speech.
King's Speech, yep.
If I may quick do a little
was King's Speech or was it Social Network? Oh, no, it was King's Speech.
King's Speech.
Never mind. Yep.
Which is what I was going to say.
Yep.
It should have been Social Network or Black Swan.
I'm pretty sure Lindsay would agree with you that it should have been Social Network as well.
So check out their episode if you guys want to hear Lindsay Collin discuss the continued Best Picture Oscar winners.
Yep.
So,
we're actually recording our episodes a day earlier than normal just because schedules are working better right now for that. So thank you for doing that.
I'll look for everyone's comments on the episode when we post it. So. All right, but I do have a comment here. It's actually a tweet from someone who tweeted last week, which is Ledger. Ledger had tweeted at us if he thought Sebastian was hands down the best sidekick character. He tweets today, is Joanna the best villain sidekick so far?
Absolutely.
100%.
100% hands down.
You didn't have to think about it. But if you want a quick reminder of some of the other villain sidekicks we've
Tell me the other ones, and then I will continue to make my decision.
So just a quick shorthand here of other sidekick villains we've had. Last week we had Flatsman Jetsam from Ursula.
That's why you were looking those up.
Yep.
Okay, yep.
The Pit Bulls from Oliver and Company. The Bats from Great Mouse Detective. Medusa's Crocs. Hiss from Robin Hood. Prince John's. Horace and Jasper from 101 Dalmatians, or Cruella de Vil's sidekicks. Maleficent had her crow. The Siamese cats from Lady and the Tramp.
Yeah.
And Shmi from Captain Hook's sidekick. Yep. and another great Lucifer from Cinderella.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but though I do think Lucifer and Shmi are really good.
They're really good
Those are some
villains
top-
or villain sidekicks.
would be the best if not for Joanna, because they animated the hell out of her.
Oh my
they
gosh.
gave her so much without a line of dialogue. Yeah.
And it was crazy because I mean at first when she came in I was just like, oh okay, it's
Animal
just
psychic.
it's an animal psychic, and that's why I wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of expected it to be a psychic along the lines of a lot of the animal psychics we've seen, where they're just more just like the pit bulls or whatever. They're animals. It's just an animal, and I didn't expect her to be a goofy, funny sidekick.
So much
Like,
personality. Yeah.
I did not see that coming at all. But it was a pleasant surprise, and I was very happy that they did go that direction with her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hands down, she's the best. Man alive.
There you go.
Oh,
Ledger.
man alive, is she the best sidekick?
I'm interested to see as we go further, because
There's already another one that beats
I
her.
mean, Iago.
Iago in my head beats her. Just because, I'm sorry, it's Gilbert Godfrey. And
So now this is interesting because we didn't have any magic users recently. We've had our Wizard's Duel updated with Ursula. And Triton. I updated the Wizard's Duel for that without much commentary about it, because I'm saving it for a couple more magic users down the road.
Yeah, because we have a couple more after the next one. We have more.
If the Renaissance can be credited for anything, there's a lot it can be credited for. I think it's some of the best sidekick characters in the Disney pantheon.
Yep.
Just listing off some of the bad guy sidekicks with like Shmi, with Lucifer, they're great. Tinkerbell's great. There's some great sidekick characters, but Joanna here, surprisingly, really stands out. Wilbur even being a sidekick character as well. But yeah, Apu, Iago.
Iago is fantastic,
yeah.
and I get a little uncertain. We go a little further because, like I said, that's when we start getting back out of the movies. We are.
I will point out when it happens, because I won't forget.
Mm-hmm.
We reach maximum capacity on sidekicks in a movie down the road.
Yeah.
Which I'm ashamed of Disney for doing.
Hercules.
Nope.
Okay.
We'll get there, and I
Okay.
will point out that they failed on every level because, yeah.
Fantastic! I'm excited for that. I enjoy that we'd plug future episodes of this show.
That's all the tweets I have this week. It was just the one from Ledger, so thank you, Ledger, for tweeting at us again.
Sweet.
And that's all the notes I have as well.
Awesome. Well, there's one thing slightly in development right now. I'm actively trying to get our podcast on Spotify.
Oh,
Spotify
excellent.
started doing podcasts a little while ago, and they secretly opened up submissions.
Oh,
you have
okay.
to know where to go in order to do it. I was able to track it down, and I did submit. I submitted this show, which is what I do for all of them. I submit this one first as a test, and if this one works, then I will submit everybody else's. So
Cool.
if this one works, I'll get it up. I'll get the Oscars one up there, and I'll try to get AFI up there as well.
100 on there. Cool.
So it's in the works. Otherwise, right now we are still on Stitcher, we're still on iTunes, and we're still on Google Play. So you can find us any of those locations if you happen to have stumbled across this somewhere else. I mean, we're on the GhostAt website. Obviously, all those get posted on Facebook, and there's so many places you can
around.
find it. Yeah,
And thank you for those who have been liking and sharing this
Yes.
as well. So I've gotten some new comments from people on Twitter and a couple of private messages that I'm like, oh, I don't know who this person is. They're listening. Yay, we have listeners.
Also, thanks to David for you guys played the Jungle Book.
So Jungle Book was last week.
Yep.
So the quick plug for some additional bonus content. If you didn't get enough of hearing my dulcet tones this week.
We hadn't talked about the Jungle Book, so since you did it, that's why I wanted to bring it up now.
So I've been doing some guest appearances on the Technophiles podcast network, hosted by David Geisler.
Mm-hmm.
They're in between seasons right now, and we did some Let's Plays of animated Disney movie Super Nintendo games
Mm-hmm.
and Game Boy games. So this week, if you want to take a look at episode 3, we did Little Mermaid.
Oh.
So
Were these all the games that were released the same time? Are they all kind of like that same?
Yeah, the Little Mermaid. Some of these games, if you listen to the episode, you'll hear how the overlap happened on some of them. So this week is Little Mermaid. From this point on, for the next 3 episodes, the game we play ties into the movie we watch.
Fantastic.
So, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, and Lion King. So
I wanted to thank David for commenting on the album artwork for the show, because he said it really stands out on iTunes, and I went, Exactly. That's why we do it. I wanted it just to be Disney top shelf.
Yeah, so check out the Technophiles. You can find them on YouTube. You can find them online. David Geiser from Technophiles is a great friend of ours and makes some incredible content.
Yeah.
So plug for him there.
Thanks for them.
Yeah. But next week we have reached movie number 10 of the third decade. I'm broken, Jeff. I'm broken.
Third 10.
We're hitting number 30.
Q-Walla.
Oh, so good. So good. Hashtag a Q-Walla.
No, so we're reaching the third set of 10 movies in our movie bracket, I guess, that we've got being made here.
So what are we watching?
So next week we are watching, guys, it's finally here.
I can see his heart just fluttering through his chest right now.
I'm going to sing the entire time next week. I'm so sorry. But next week we are watching the 1991, I don't even have to look it up, I know it. The 1991 movie Beauty and the Beast. Which may or may not be my favorite movie.
I think it's fair to say that the listeners should strap in for a longer episode.
Yes.
Because we're going to have quite a bit to say about Beauty and the Beast, but we're also hitting our 10 mark, so we will be discussing the whole library of films. Now, granted, we do discuss as we rank them, we hem and haw about it, so it might not be that much more lengthy of a conversation, but because we're wrapping it up, we will kind of have a little recap of the 10.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Jeff, maybe I'll be able to watch it with you again. I'm not sure exactly what my travel plans hold for me, so I may be singing the whole movie with you as well. Unless you don't want me to be here so you can sing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
What is that going to stop me? I'll just start saying, little town full of little people. I'll just do it now.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. Do you want to wrap this up?
Yes, I'll wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for taking a listen. TC, thanks for being here yet again for another episode. We are halfway through this list. We have 28 more to go, which is insane considering we're in the early 90s. We have 28 more movies to do.
It's that movie a year situation that really speeds up and slows down.
Hoy. But thank you again for being back here. Everybody, thank you for listening. Definitely continue to leave comments and subscribe and tell your friends and share. We love all that stuff. And so this is Jeff saying goodbye. TC, do the sign off.
This is a sign off. No, you call this a sign off. This is a sign-off.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's okay.
I like that one.
There's the music. Bye, everybody.
Bye. This has been a production of Ghost Hat Media, proud member of the Ghost Hat Network. Find them online at www.ghosthat.net.
I like the ending.